All right, well, joining me now is the man of the hour, the CEO of RXO, about $4.5 billion logistics company, Drew Wilkerson. Drew, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on ringing the opening bell.
Thank you for having us. It's great to be here. This is the third time we've been able to do it, but this acquisition was the most fun that I've had up there, so great to be here.
We're so happy to have you, and of course, this comes after a very big acquisition, as you referenced, of Coyote Logistics from UPS. How is that integration going?
We're just over 3 weeks in, so we're still in the early stages, but from a morale standpoint, from a people standpoint, it is going phenomenal right now. We're continuing to build relationships. We've got customers here, so to be able to hear customers seeing the benefit of what we're creating from scale has been great for us to be able to see. And our carriers now that do business with us have more than double the freight than what they had before to be able to choose on the platform of where their next load comes from.
How is this economic cycle impacting your business? We see stocks near record highs, GDP growth of about 3% in the third quarter. What does that mean for your firm?
So we've been in a freight recession for over 2.5 years now. And for us, there's a playbook for every cycle that we run through. And part of the playbook was being able to do an acquisition at the bottom of the cycle. So for us, what we've done is we put ourselves in a very strong position whenever the market does start to turn.
Interesting. And in terms of what the supply chain has in store, we've seen inflation prices come down a little bit. How are you monitoring inflation as it impacts your business line?
We're paying a very close attention to what is happening with the end consumer. We've seen where the end consumer lately has been spending more money on experiences versus goods and services. So we're watching as we head into the fourth quarter. Are they going to spend it on Christmas presents, or are they going to spend it on experiences? If you start to see retail and e-commerce pick up, that'll be very good for our business.
Interesting. I'd like to talk to you about the reach, right? Obviously, your company based here in America in terms of where you do business and how things like the election and, of course, the global economy play into it. What can you tell me on that front?
Yeah, it's something that we watch overall is what's going on with the global economy. We are a predominantly North American, U.S.-based business, but we do a lot of cross-border business. And one of the trends that we've been watching over the last few years is what's happening with cross-border freight. You're starting to see more and more companies shift their manufacturing into Mexico. And for us, we've been able to grow our Mexico business for the last year on over 30% on a year-over-year basis. So as you start to see businesses shift, it creates a good opportunity for us to be able to get the products to the end consumers faster.
Interesting. And I want to hear more about how you're streamlining that process, the whole logistics process, right? How consumers can, by how much perhaps they can expect their goods faster.
Yeah, so we've got a last mile business, and what that is big and bulky business that goes into the home. And for us, we're the leader in the U.S. on last mile deliveries. And even for that business, it's been growing at a good clip for us this year. And that's because we've got hubs that are within 120 miles of 90% of the U.S. population. So we've got a wide reach to be able to get the end products to the end consumers fast.
What is RXO's role in a world where we know Amazon is increasingly moving into the logistics space as well, at a time when a company like UPS, for instance, is pulling back, and your recent acquisition of Coyote Logistics from UPS, I'm sure, playing a role as well?
Yeah. I think you're going to continue to see RXO grow over the long term. We're building this business for the long term. Our goal is to be the largest provider of truckload freight in North America, and this acquisition helps us to get on that path faster.
How important is the holiday season for your firm?
Q4 is a big quarter for us, and like I said earlier, we are paying close attention to what happens with the end consumer. Right now, inventory positions are in a good spot. It just all comes down to what is going to happen with the end consumer and how do they choose to spend their money.
I'm curious, Drew, as I kind of do a little swap-a-roo with my hands here. This is a much better format for me. Thank you. Got to get comfy. What else is on the horizon, especially after this deal and as we head into year-end?
Well, we're 1,000% focused on making sure that this integration goes well for employees, for customers, for the carriers that we partner with. But we're also looking for what could be the next deal. We know how to do M&A. It's in our playbook. And if there's something else that pops up at this point in the cycle, like I said earlier, this is the right point in the cycle to be doing M&A in the brokerage space.
How closely do you follow the share price?
Not closely at all. I have no idea what it is today. For us, we're looking at where the share price goes for the long term, not on a day-to-day basis. So I typically don't even look at it every day. I look at it, once or twice a week.
Yeah. I like what you mentioned earlier. You've been down here. RXO has been down here 3 times in the past 3 years. And of course, the New York Stock Exchange obviously so values you and your company and your presence down here. What is the importance of the stock exchange and the trading community that this provides to your company?
Well, I think one, it shows the financial stability that we've got within our company and the strength of the company and the strength of the balance sheet that we've been building. And it also shows that, we build this for investors for the long term. And so investors who have partnered with us for the long term, we did our spinoff in November of 2022. And I do know the stock price then, it was just over $19. So to watch where it's gone over the last 20 plus months has been fun for us to see.
Drew Wilkerson, so great to get your take and hear from you, of course, down here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange after celebrating the opening bell. Drew Wilkerson is the CEO of RXO.
Thank you for having me.